All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Just 1 second while I get all set up. Perfect. Happy Monday. And it's a heck of a Monday it is, isn't it? So this is our second overall, but our first midday mindfulness break, first day as a whole. So I really appreciate y'all being here. This is a great opportunity to kind of just take a break and just take a breath today. So let's go ahead and get started. So salutations, my name is Dan, and this is the Midday Mindfulness Break. Each session is going to be about 30 minutes. It consists of an introduction and review, a brief topic, and then a guided meditation followed by a koan, which is a Zen riddle. Now is an excellent time to set an intention for your practice. So I like to dedicate it. It can be to a person, a place, an idea, any kind of concept, or it could just be to even just, freedom as a whole. But what we're doing is we're setting a purpose for our practice, something that is very powerful. And we seal in this intention with a deep breath in and a long breath out. And let's get started. I like to begin every class with this brief quote. The quote is, "The real meditation is how you live your life." So this is to remind us to use meditation to be more skillful at whatever we already are. We use meditation to enhance our daily lives, to make ourselves more present within our realities and show up to life, whether that's precious time with family or work or whatever, kind of stuff's going on these days. Meditation is that next conflict. It's what you do in those moments of difficulty and challenge. Next up, who am I? So the root of self-inquiry and one of the deepest questions there are, who am I, has led many to enlightenment. And it's one of the ones that I have a personal resonance with that has contributed towards my enlightenment as well. So to answer the question, though, in a very literal sense, I've got roughly about 10 years experience with specifically meditation and yoga. Mindfulness has been a particular focus in the last 2 to 3 years. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, have been in the state of Virginia for about 3 years, and it's been a big practice of my mindfulness as well. I'm a certified mindfulness coach, actually internationally certified mindfulness coach, and I've been working at the individual, group, corporate, medical, all sorts of different settings. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to do these live streams more often with you. So let's ask, what is mindfulness? Well, mindfulness is a combination of a couple different things. Well, we're talking about specifically the practice of mindfulness. And the practice of mindfulness is 3 things: awareness, equanimity, and concentration. Awareness is the recognition of existence, quite simple. Equanimity, an unconditional acceptance of what is now, perhaps a little bit more difficult. And last, concentration is the intention to keep attention towards those other 2 practices or intentions. So yeah, concentration, you can be concentrating about anything, but within the practice of mindfulness, we're placing concentration on awareness and equanimity. Now for today's topic, I want to specifically address or discuss the topic of awareness and what that is. Awareness is an intellect, theory, formula, belief, or drama? No, that's not what it is. Well, let's break it down into its roots. Aware quite simply means knowledge or perception. And ness is the state of being. So it's the state of being in knowledge or perception. Okay. Well, that sounds an awful lot like a synonym for I am, or more specifically, I am and I know that I am, right? And just something of note here is I am and I know that I am is the specific state of awareness. I am and I can be whatever I would like after that. Perfect. And before we get into this brief activity, I just want to close my door real quick because our cat just joined us for our session, and I would like to close the door so it's not too noisy. Data Cat is the cat and our roommate. I am sure she will be making frequent appearances. Thank you for your patience. So now for the brief activity. First, I would like you to just take a moment and pick out 5 things that you see. And go ahead and label them, make them unique. Good. Next, 4 things you hear. The vacuum's going here, so that makes it much easier. Next, 3 things you feel. And these can be points of contact, these can be internal feelings, external feelings, sensations. 2 things you can smell. And feel free to get up and move around if that's easier for you. And lastly, 1 thing you taste. Good. So that's just a brief illustration of awareness. Awareness isn't simply the 5 senses, but that demonstrates how awareness is always going on. It's always kind of surrounding us. And it's really about a matter of what we're attending to and putting our attention to. So I think that's a powerful yet simple example of just some examples of awareness. And remember, you can always return to the 5 senses to tune into your awareness. Next, I would like to share a brief story. And this is a brief story of the importance of awareness. So even though it was the master's day of silence, the Zen master, or whatever, the master's master day of silence, a traveler begged for a word of wisdom that would guide him through his life's journey. The master nodded and took a sheet of paper and wrote a single word on it: awareness. And he handed it back to the visitor. The visitor was perplexed. "That's too brief. Would you please explain it a bit?" The master took back the paper and wrote, "Awareness, awareness, awareness." "But what do these words mean?" the stranger asked helplessly. The master reached out for the paper and wrote, "Awareness, awareness, awareness means awareness." Sometimes it's just quite simple, right? Lovely. So speaking of awareness, it is time for us to now get into our next meditation. Today's meditation is called the awareness of the breath. So as you begin to find yourself to a comfortable position, whatever that means best for you, it may be sitting, it may be lying down, it could even be standing. Just settling into a posture that is both comfortable and alert, rested, relaxed, for a few moments of stillness. Now begin to just generally tune into the breath. We're not trying to change the breath. There's no right ways or wrong ways. There's nothing you should be doing or could be doing. We are simply returning our focus to the attention on the breath. Noticing first the sensations. Where do you feel the sensation of your breath most in your body? Take a few moments and just feel the sensation of yourself breathing. When your mind wanders, pat yourself on the back, because 1, you noticed, you used awareness to see the mind wandering, and 2, pat yourself on the back because you're alive. The mind's gonna wander. We're human. Simply take attention and gently guide it back to the breath. Good. As we begin to settle deeper into the breath, we're going to start to try and lengthen our breath a little bit. Noticing if we can slightly extend the inhale or exhale, finding its natural length. Good. Now, we're going to shift attention to our bellies. Feel the expansion of the belly. The expansion in all 360 directions. Navel pushing out on all sides. We're inflating a balloon in our belly. We are breathing our most natural breath. We are breathing like that of a newborn. I wonder if you can imagine yourself breathing just like a newborn baby, allowing the belly to expand in all directions, 360 degrees, letting go of any tightness and any tension as you do so. Soft belly, gentle belly. Continue breathing like this for just a couple more moments. Breathing into your stomach, abs, and down into your diaphragm. When we breathe like this, we're stimulating the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the largest nerve in our body and connects to our brain, as well as all of our internal organs. When we deep breathe like this, we are telling the body to just relax. You are safe. Good. Now, still maintaining attention on the breath, we're going to slowly shift our attention, slide it up into our chest, to our ribs, all the way into our lungs. Noticing if there is any tension or tightness here. This is a big area of tension, of tightness. In the chest, in the rib cage, perhaps even going all the way around to your shoulder blades. With each deep breath, allowing yourself to release a lot, releasing more and more tension, and letting go. Feel how your chest expands and pulls, making space for your lungs and the expansion of the breath. It's a wondrous and miraculous thing, the breath. When we pay attention to it, we honor our higher selves. We retrain our reactive minds to be more present in our bodies and in this breath. Returning again to the sensation of the breathing in the chest. Knowing that this is where your heart is. There's likely some emotional tension being stored here too. Perhaps making an offering of compassion to this area. As we continue, fully breathing. And next, we begin to shift attention slowly up the neck, into the face, and throat. Feeling the breath perhaps in our mouths or nose. Really noticing the sensation of the breath here. Sometimes it's a little bit more subtle. Noticing any tickles, any warming or cooling that may occur. Simply breathing in and out, paying attention to the breath. And the mind wanders, as it always does. Simply return it back to the attention of the breath. And again, thank yourself for your awareness in all regards. And now, expanding awareness one more time to the entirety of the breath. From the beginning of the inhalation all the way to the end of the exhalation. Seeing if you can follow the breath from start to finish continuously. Noticing any sensations throughout the body. Anything that may be tingling. Perhaps any aches and pains as we've been settling into the stillness. Simply breathe into all these areas. And return attention to the breath. And finally, I'd like you to focus one more time on the sensation of the breath, wherever you feel it most. It may be the same place as the beginning, or it may have changed. Simply notice where you feel the breath now, in any sense of feeling, any sense of calm. And remember, we can take with us the breath into our awareness, and this calmness and this depth in our day-to-day living, from moment to moment. It is always with us. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you very much for participating in that guided meditation with me. I hope you found a nice peace and calm as I did. Lovely. So now, as I said, we'll be ending every class with a koan, which is a Zen riddle made to kind of shake you from your conceptual thinking, shake you out of your mind. And this is actually my favorite Zen koan. So we start the first with my favorite. A monk told Joshu, "I have entered the monastery. Please teach me." And Joshu was a wise Zen master. Joshu asked, "Have you eaten your rice porridge?" And the monk replied, "I have eaten." Then Joshu replied, "Then you had better wash your bowl." And at that moment, the monk was enlightened. Thank you. It was an honor and pleasure getting to share these moments and these times with you. I hope that I see you again soon, and I wish you all the best ventures until then. Thank you so much.